Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Megan's Minimal Meals. I'm here to cook up delicious meals without spending a fortune. Join me for simple recipes and tips. Hit subscribe and let's get cooking together. So this is my grandma's turkey and white bean chili recipe. I have everything laid out here in front of what we'll need, very minimal ingredients. The goal here is to keep it cheap and easy. So I'm just going to go ahead here and open up my turkey package. It's ground turkey. You can get it from any grocery store. Fairly cheap in price. I'm just going to go ahead and add some olive oil to my pan. It's a cast iron pan. That's my favorite for cooking. I'm going to turn that on to a low medium heat. Add my garlic. I usually buy the pre-minced garlic. Makes it nice and easy. Just had to grab a utensil to get that in there. Add about a tablespoon or so. I don't usually measure anything. Measure with my heart, I always say. You might have a different preference of how much ingredient you're adding of each, but like easy meals for sure. I'm just going to go ahead and let that heat up. My meat I took out this morning, so it's a little bit frozen still. I'm just going ahead and break that up so it cooks nice and quick for us. You can go ahead and use any kind of meat you like, really. I don't ever stick to a certain recipe. Kind of add as I go. My favorite thing about cooking is just making the recipes better as you make them throughout the years. Just waiting for that to heat up there. What's your guys' favorite chili recipe? You'll have to let me know in the comments. There's so many different kinds. I'm sure I'll have more than a few on this channel over the time. But yeah, all you need is a different couple kinds of beans. I got salt and pepper there. I usually like to add like a beef or chicken bouillon just for extra flavor. I do have the sriracha out there as well. If you like spice or if you don't like spice, optional to add. I also have my onion that I'll cut up. Can of tomato sauce, a can of diced tomatoes, and the tomato paste as well. It all adds to the flavor. Just going to go ahead and stir that up there just so the garlic doesn't stick to the bottom or start to burn for us. Gonna go ahead and get that meat started. Get it brown. I like to have the meat completely cooked before I add the other ingredients. Or close to anyways. It's starting to smell good. Get a fairly big amount of meat in there. Comes in the package. I'm just cooking for 2 people. I like to have lots of leftovers. I always say cook once, eat twice. How many people are you cooking for? Get that last little bit of meat in there. I'm always trying to see how cheap I can get my recipe to make. Always go for the sale items, see what's on sale, check your local flyers. Just letting that brown in there. The meat doesn't take long, really. And give it a little stir. See it starting to smoke up there. Smells phenomenal. And meals don't have to be hard. I know a lot of people work days and it's the last thing you want to do when you come home. I myself work shift work, so I try to prep meals when my day's off. You can also do freezer meals. Those are popular for a lot of people. Make lasagnas, throw them in the freezer, take them out when you need them. Chili works great, it freezes so well. Just letting the steam cook that a little bit. Try to clean as I go when I cook. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like a lot of dishes at the end of it. I'm more big on the one pot meals. While I'm waiting for that to brown, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my onion. Careful with those knives. I like to get fairly big onions. They bulk up the meal and they're pretty cheap. Get all the peel off. That's the hard part. Find onions make me cry quite a bit. My eyes are sensitive. How about you guys? This one likes to get stuck. Doesn't want to come off. Yeah, there we go. I give them a fairly loose chop. Nothing too crazy. Ah, there I go, cleaning as I go. I don't want a big mess. I like being organized, having everything laid out, ready to go so you don't forget any ingredients. That's a key thing too. Start from the beginning instead of reaching for stuff as you go. I'm gonna give this a loose chop. Turn that down just a little bit on the burner so we're not burning the meat. Starting to smell really good. Loose chop. How many people are you guys cooking for? You have a whole family or just 2 people? For myself, it's just me and my husband. But like I said before, I like to have leftovers and then it's just easier for work. And it helps with the budget too. I'm really tired of all the cost of food that's gone up. I'm sure it's gone up everywhere, but you'll have to let me know what part of the country you're in if you've noticed how much of a change. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add that onion now. There we go. The other half cut up. I always remember Grandma cooking this, so I thought I'd start my channel with a recipe that reminds me of a good memory. If there's any particular recipe you guys would like to see, leave that in the comments too. I'm always willing to try new recipes. I just love cooking, so I figured I'd share my passion. Give that a good stir. Get those onions to start cooking. Not a huge fan of crunchy onions. Coming together though. Yeah, cleaning as I go again. I love this fast burner. It's a quick boil burner. Speeds up meals pretty quickly as well. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and start opening all my cans. Have those nice and ready. I won't drain the diced tomatoes, I don't think, but I will drain the beans, both cans of beans, and rinse those. I don't know, for some reason I usually add my salt and pepper near the end. Once it's all put together, I usually leave it on simmer low for maybe an hour if I have time. An hour and a half, depending how close to the time is that you need to eat. Get my tomato sauce open up there. And again, any kind, any brand of tomato sauce, beans, really whatever you have on hand. I generally like to reverse shop by looking at what I have at home first and then making my grocery list. That always saves on the budget. And if you have to modify an ingredient or change something up, if you don't have something, it still turns out great. It's a pretty forgiving dish. I'm just getting all my cans open. I wish they made a smaller thing of tomato paste because I usually just end up using that whole thing because what else am I going to save it for? Usually end up saving it or end up throwing it out because I'll just use that whole can. Adds more flavor, right? So here we go. It's starting to come together. Give it a stir. Now you can really smell everything. Always like to make sure I chop up my meat pretty fine as much as I can. I just love those cast iron pans. I have like 3 or 4 of them. What do you guys prefer to cook with? Stainless steel, cast iron. So many choices nowadays. There, I'm just going over to the sink to drain those beans. Get those ready and rinsed. I don't know, I always like to rinse mine. See it boiling away there. A burner, you can just feel the heat come off of it. There's the second can of beans getting rinsed. This meal came together in about 18 minutes, 20 minutes. And then really just leave it on low and you can let it simmer and do its thing. You don't have to worry about it. Just check it periodically so it's not burning to the bottom or nothing, or you like to give it a stir after I've put everything together. And I usually set those beans on a plate just to let them drain so I'm not adding extra water to my recipe. Give it another stir there. Sure starting to smell good. I'm gonna go ahead and open the beef bouillon. I know it's turkey, but just add some extra flavor. Always have a hard time with the jars. But one of those things that helps you open stuff, so it always works out good. Measure with your heart again. Whatever you think you'd like. About a teaspoon there, I'd say. Give or take. That stuff's great. I love using it. I just leave it in the fridge after I've opened it, and it's my go-to. Most of these products I have found at a Meijer's. Get them anywhere, really. Walmart. Again, I'm not sticking to a certain brand of any kind. Really, honestly, it's whatever you have at home and whatever you can use. Crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes going in now. I didn't drain those. can, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Go ahead and open up the tomato paste there. I'm just going to add the whole can, because really I'm not going to save it. I'm going to end up throwing it out. Again, a hard time opening that one, that jar. Oh, there we go. I always like to check the dates on everything, just because I usually stockpile, and that was me checking the date. And then just to get the extra sauce out of there, I usually add a little bit of water. Give it a good shake and then add the rest in. So that's what I'm doing there. Here we go. Don't want to waste that. Do that. Add those beans in. We're getting close to the top. I love this cast iron, but I should have used my bigger one. Give it a good stir. Get everything mixed in and combined. I usually leave the salt and pepper off, and then I can just salt and pepper to taste when I eat it, or you can add it in at the end, whichever you prefer. Either way tastes great though. I always try not to touch the cast iron because it's so hot. Oh, there's a little spill. You got it. Finish mixing it up. And you can add the optional sriracha if you like for a little kick. I'm going to leave it out, I think, but it is an option. And then I just usually cover it and leave it on low. Give it a stir every now and again. Keep an eye on it. Let it go for an hour or two, but that's about it. Thanks, guys, for joining me, and I hope you subscribe to see many more recipes to come. And we'll get cooking together. Okay, thanks.